What's up, everybody? Welcome to a Sunday edition of The Squeeze. I am Tyler Conium, and no, I'm not betting on the Blue Jays today, but I'm just over this winter. It's minus 12 outside today. I think it's supposed to be the last day, under zero this week, so I am ready for spring. Plus, we hit a nice little all-Toronto parlay yesterday that we added to the official card, so I'm happy about that. The Blue Jays were the only team that I didn't bet on. So how was our day yesterday? Let's quickly run down our Saturday. Dallas Stars and Calgary Flames. I mentioned the Vegas hangover effect, and over 6, there was 11 goals into overtime. So that strategy worked there. In the UFC, our parlay, both legs were wrong. Fiziev lost and Usman lost. So Touche lost both bets there in the UFC. At the under for Boston and Minnesota, it was 4-2 for a long time. We're looking for a push. It ended up going over by a goal. It was 5-2 Boston, which I thought was unexpected. And then we had our all-Toronto parlay, the Raptors, the Leafs, TFC, all won a plus 180 parlay, which is great. So we were up about a half a unit on the day. No complaints. And now here we are into Sunday. We've got 3 bets across 3 sports. Once again, isn't it the best time of year when you can do that? But just quickly take a moment, if you do like these videos, just want to hit the subscribe button or recommend one person that they subscribe if they're into sports betting. Always free, all the time, 3 bets a day. I break them down every day except for Tuesday and give you what I think is your best bet for you to either bet for or bet against. If you bet against the UFC bets yesterday, you won a nice little parlay. Massive underdog parlay. Probably would have been like a plus 800 parlay if you did that. Either way, hitting subscribe is always appreciated. Let's start in the F1. It's the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, so we have a later start time today, 1 p.m. Eastern. Max Verstappen is starting 15th on the grid today due to some issues with qualifying and penalties. It's not a bad bet to still take Verstappen to win this race. It's boosted to plus 150 or plus 160 at Bet365. I'm going to be on Verstappen winning this race regardless anyways. He's just been that dominant, and Red Bull's been that dominant. But the bet I'm going to recommend here, it's a minus 110. It's called Dual Forecast. So you pick 2 racers. If either of them win, you win the bet. So we've got Max Verstappen and we've got Sergio Perez. So both the Red Bull racers. Perez is starting on the pole. If either of them win this race, we're good to go. Right? So, like I said, I think Verstappen's going to probably win this race. He was the fastest qualifier, and you can get him for a good price as the race winner. But as a hedge, let's just say that Red Bull wins this race, right? So, even though we think Verstappen's going to win, if you double down and you get Perez as well, starting on the pole, I think there's a lot of value there. He did win this race last year, an element of unpredictability in this race. But Red Bull's just way better than Ferrari. Nobody is close. Mercedes has taken a step back. McLaren's taken a step back. Aston Martin, you can argue, has taken a step up. But Red Bull is just that dominant right now in Formula One. And to get both of these racers, either one, at essentially even money, who else is going to win this race? Maybe Ferrari, sure. But you're getting this price because Verstappen is starting so far back. Normally, he's going to be like minus 200, minus 250 anyway. So anytime you get Max Verstappen plus money, I don't care where he's starting, I am going to take this. He did have the fastest lap in qualifying. Last year, he won from the 15th position in the Belgium Grand Prix. It only took him 12 laps to get all the way up into the lead. I remember that very vividly because we had Charles Leclerc to win that race. If you don't bet on Leclerc, he loses. So the Hungary Grand Prix circuit is not too dissimilar to Jeddah as far as the width and overtaking opportunities. So I just think we can see the similar path today. But as a backup, we have Perez as well. So I like... personally, I'm going to take Verstappen to win this race, but officially we're going to take minus 110 for a dual forecast, Max Verstappen or Sergio Perez to win the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, 1 p.m. Eastern start. Going to college basketball, we've done very good in college basketball with our official bets, and today I'm going to take Gonzaga minus 4.5 against TCU. This is a great price. Ken Palm has this as an 8-point win for Gonzaga, okay? Coming into this game, TCU offense and the Gonzaga defense are fairly evenly matched. TCU had the 35th ranked offensive efficiency, while Gonzaga is 54 in defense. You know, whenever it's close, whenever it's within like 20, give me the defense. This one is within 20. And then when you go to the Gonzaga offense, this is where the edge is. Gonzaga is first in the country in offensive efficiency. TCU's defense, not bad, number 31. But again, you're looking at the number 1 offensive efficiency in the league. Expect a slightly faster tempo than normal with these two ball clubs. Neither one has an issue running and gunning, playing a lot of transition basketball. Gonzaga top 100 in pace. TCU right behind them at 107. Gonzaga does appear to have a momentum advantage. They've been coming into this game second in the country in positive momentum, while TCU is towards the bottom of the pack at number 291. Although Gonzaga is one of the more erratic squads, you could say, ranking 9th from the bottom in consistency, I just think they're going to be able to overpower them here. I think they just have a little bit of a stronger team. TCU's offense is going to rely heavily on getting to the rack in transition. They want to get to the net, but they have got an injury to their star point guard that's going to perhaps change what they're going to be able to do there. Gonzaga did start this season very slow, but they've been pretty dominant since. They've been 24-2 over their last 26 games, including a 10-point win over Alabama, who I've picked to win the whole thing, and are the favorites to win the whole thing, and they do have 2 wins over St. Mary's as well. Gonzaga is just simply an offensive juggernaut. I think they're going to be able to run on TCU. I think they're going to be able to score on TCU, and I do think their defense is good enough to hang. And the spread's not that big at 4.5. I look for that line to move perhaps to 5, even to 6. So give me the Gonzaga Bulldogs minus 4.5 for minus 110 at BetMGM. And our last bet of the day comes in the NBA, where we've got a nice little plus 100 on the Phoenix Suns. Now, Phoenix is coming into this game. They had just beat Orlando, but previous to that, they had lost 3 straight games, and they've lost 4 straight ATS. Big reason for that is, well, they're without Kevin Durant. DeAndre Ayton also will not play today with a hip injury. However, I just don't really trust Oklahoma that much lately. They're 21-15 at home, yes, but they've just come off a loss to Toronto where they got beat pretty badly. Previous to that, they did win 3 straight, but those wins were against Brooklyn, who's been brutal, San Antonio, who's the worst team in the league, New Orleans without Zion Williamson, and their loss previous to that was a loss to Phoenix, where they lost 132-101. The last 2 times they've played Phoenix, Phoenix has won 132-101, and 124-115. That was without Kevin Durant. One of those games was without Devin Booker, and in both of those games, DeAndre Ayton didn't score more than 14 points. He hasn't done that much in matchups against Oklahoma City. So I think this is a nice spot here. Phoenix is looking for a little bit of a rebound. They need to start getting back on their winning ways. I think you can look to take advantage of a Thunder team that's probably going to regress to the mean a little bit. Even though they are 4-0 ATS in their last 4 home games, I think that we can just get Phoenix on a straight-up money line bet. It's a 3:30 p.m. start in Oklahoma City, so you might get some weird stuff. I think Phoenix's defense is going to come out a little bit stronger. That should be where they'll have the ability to take advantage there. They are 9th in the league in rebounding. Yes, they're going to be without Ayton, but I just think between Devin Booker, between Chris Paul, yes, of course, you've always got Gilgeous-Alexander on the flip side, but I think this is a really good spot here to get plus money on the Phoenix Suns. Feel free to fade that pick if you like, but I'm going to take the Suns on the road, money line plus 100 at BetMGM. There is your official Sunday card. I am going to have a bunch of hockey picks and probably some NCAA picks, so follow me on Twitter at Tyler Conium for those. But to run back your March Madness Sunday, let's actually say to run back your F1 Sunday, give me Max Verstappen or Sergio Perez to win the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix for minus 110 at Bet365. Give me the Gonzaga Bulldogs minus 4.5 for minus 110 at BetMGM. And give me the Phoenix Suns on the money line plus 100 at BetMGM. As always, drop a comment if you're fading or following at Tyler Conium on Twitter for more picks and props served today, TikTok and Instagram for just the picks portions, and audio versions available on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. It's the end of the week. We're up money. Let's keep it going, and let's talk sports.